Hi everybody, this is Pat in the paper closet. I had shown you before, I said I would make this as a project. This was the die cuts and fussy cut holder that I had made. Originally it was meant for greeting cards that I made. Then I started putting my pieces in here, and I was going to do this, show you how to make it this way. But I've decided, since everyone doesn't have this plastic and not everyone sews, that this is not going to work, because you can't glue down this plastic, you can only stitch it. So I've come up with another idea. Now I'm making this off the top of my head, so bear with me. This is what I've come up with. I'm using cardstock. I'm thinking of making it into a book. This is the vellum. It's clear vellum. I have the pack here. I don't know exactly. I think I got it either Michael's or Joann's. I don't remember. I've had this for quite a while. It's made by Darius. It's called Clear Translucent. Comes 50 sheets in the pack, and that's what I'm using. That's these clear pieces. Now I've glued them down. The glue is holding well. It's not coming up, and I think these pockets are just the right size. Any wider and things tend to slide around back and forth. Now in here I've got, tags, words, some flowers. So I plan on making 4 pockets on each page. This side will also have 4 pockets. And this side will have 4 pockets. And this side will have 4 pockets. Now this is not the cover. I'm going to make the pages first, and then I'll do the cover, so I can make sure it fits. Now I've given this a 1 inch binding, so that I can add pages in the middle here. In other words, this would be a signature, and then I'd make another one like this. I'll have 2 of them, and then I will make the cover and the spine. So when you open it up, you'll have this page. This will actually be a page. This is not the cover. And this page, and then there'll be another page in the middle here that'll have 2 pages. There'll be a sheet. One more sheet that'll have 2 pages, and this piece, and this piece. So we'll actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages of these pockets in one of these, and I plan on doing 2. So it should be probably a 2-inch spine, maybe a little bit wider to allow for expansion. But I'll figure that out after I make the pages. So to make this page, I started out with a 12 by 12 sheet. Now I've cut it down. I cut off the top, I cut a 1-inch strip off. So I made it 11 high by 12 wide. I put it on my scoreboard, and I scored it at 5.5. And then I turned it around and I scored it again at 5.5, just to be sure the pages were going to be the same. And then I folded them. So when you fold them, I made sure I folded them back and forth several times, so that when you're using it in the book, the pages will be able to turn easily. So after I had that all done, folded my score lines, then I cut these strips. These are 2 inches high by, I forgot my ruler. I thought I had everything. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm back. These are cut at little less than 5.5. So cut them at 5.5. If they're hanging over a little bit, you could just trim them off after you glue them. So I cut 4 of those. I got 5 out of 1 sheet. And I had a strip left over. I'll save that for something. So I'm going to show you how to add the pages on the inside. So that we end up with, is that what I said? 2, 4, 6, 8 pages with pockets. I'm going to take another sheet of 12 by 12. I'm going to cut off the inch on the top. And I'm going to make 2 pages out of it. I love this thing, but I always forget how to open it. Got it. Okay, I've got it. I want to cut an inch off, well, any side. It's 12 by 12. And I want it 11 by 12. Put it on my 11-inch mark. I'm getting a camera here. Doesn't even fit. Anyway, my markings are along the bottom here, my inches. I'm going to put it at 11. Make sure I'm up against the edge here. I'm going to cut off that 1 inch. And I've chosen a different color. I want to see how it looks, how the vellum shows the pieces off against a darker color. I think it'll work okay. So now we have a 11 by 12 inch piece. Now this is our height, the 11 inches. I'm going to put it in. If you have a regular scoreboard, just put it in your regular scoreboard. I'm going to score it at, wait, let me think. I'm designing this as I make it, so give me a second. These pages are 5.5. So I'm going to cut this. Actually, I'm going to cut this first at 5 3/4. So I'll have 5.5 plus the quarter I'm going to need to fold. I'm going to cut this at 5 3/4, and then I'm going to score it at 5.5. That's what I want to do. So I'm going to have that little edge over it. Here's my little, I was very organized till I turned the camera on. Where is it? My little scoring tool. I've lost it. Oh no. Probably on the floor, right? No, it's not. Alright, let me find something else to score with. We'll try this. And score. This is not working too well. I can feel it. Let's see. I have a mark, but I don't think it went into the board. What did I do with my little tool? Alright, let me find something else to score with. Alright, a pencil with no lead in it. How's that? A mechanical pencil. Oh, that feels good. That'll work. That made me a good score line. Okay, so I'm going to cut 2 of these. This one is 5 3/4, scored at 1/4 of an inch, which leaves me 5.5, which is the same size as the original page. Why am I having so much trouble today? Now I lost the whole page. Oh my goodness. Oh no, here it is right in front of me. And this page, this will be the same size as this page. And let's score line. Sorry, I'm really not used to filming at night. Maybe that's it. Alright, see, it's the same size. 5.5, plus I'm going to have this 1/4 inch fold. That's where we're going to attach it to our little binding here. I'm going to cut another one of those. Same paper. My 11-inch this way. I'm going to cut it at 5 3/4. Line it up. And cut it. Now I'm going to score it at 5 1/2. Okay. Got my temporary tool here. Make a score line. Okay, we don't need the scoreboard anymore. Just find my tool. Check the floor again. I probably buried it somewhere. I didn't get out my tray for this project because it's not a long one. I'm going to fold this on the score line. I'm going to give it a good fold, good press on both sides. I'm going to try to fold this back and forth a few times so that when it's in the book, it'll be easier to turn. You turn the page. And then I'm going to bring it back again the other way just to get it broken in so it's used to folding both ways. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to bring in my page. Now with my fold underneath, my flap underneath, this is where I'm going to glue it. Probably, you can see the fold line. Just up to the fold line. Not over it or on it because your book won't fold properly if you go over the fold line. I'm just going to check that, see? A little too close. Move it over just a touch. When I glue it in, I'll move it over. All right, I'm going to put glue on the flap on the back with it folded over. Putting glue on here. Now I'm going to glue it. Actually, I'm going to hold this up a little bit so I'm not over it. Line it up at the top and the bottom. I really can't see where my fold line is. No, that looks good. Let's move it down a little bit. It's even on the top and the bottom. Pick that up again. That looks good. You see I'm off the fold. You can still see a little yellow here. You don't want it too close to the fold line or your book's not going to open and close easily. And now I'll press it down well. Turn it the other way. Press it down on this side. So it sticks well. Give it a chance to grab. Alright, so we have a page here. We have this page, which turns nicely. So now we have 1, 2, and we're going to add another one of these. The other one that we did. We're going to fold this one on the score line and do the same thing. Giving it a good crease. Holding it back the other way. It's a little difficult at first. Giving it a crease this way. And folding it back once more. Just so it gets used to moving back and forth. Not so stiff. Alright, that's fine. Now we're going to glue this one in. A little bit away from the previous one. Going to have a little space. Hopefully it will fit. Should fit. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to put the glue on the back of the flap. And I'm going to glue it in. You can make this all the same color cardstock or 2 different colors as I'm doing. And I do hope to make another one in the future, where I will put other things. Might make the pockets a little bit more separated more, and I'll put larger pieces of cardstock in there, scraps, not tiny scraps, but larger ones. I'm going to lay this down, leaving about 1/8 of an inch, or a little bit more. That looks good. And press it down. Test it. Very good. Not in the way of uphold. I'm a little bit off on the bottom, but I can trim that when I'm finished. So now we have, in this one signature, we'll call it, 1 page, 2 pages, 3 pages, 4 pages, 5 pages, 6, 7, and 8. All in that one section. And each one will have 4 pockets. That's going to give us quite a bit of room for fussy cut pieces and die cuts, words. I put words in here. Smaller words, very fine words, flowers. Here's some labels. I still have more words in here. And I have flowers. And I do have butterflies somewhere. Where'd they go? No. There they are. I have some butterflies. Now in here, they were good, but I had to be careful when I was picking this up or moving it around, because if I tipped it upside down, some of the pieces would fall out because the plastic is so slippery, which is another reason for using the vellum. They stay in there much better. All right, now I'm going to cut the pieces of vellum that I need. We'll do this side, just so I can show you how to put them in. And then every page will be the same. You'll have the 4 pockets all the way down on each page. Okay, so I'm going to get my piece of vellum. And get my trimmer. Open it up again. Someday I'll have this. Oh, there we go. I do like this trimmer. It's a trimmer and a scoreboard all in one. Okay, now this is 8.5 inches wide by 11 inches high. So we're going to cut them I'm putting them in here on the 11-inch side. I'm going to cut them at 2 inches each piece. Lining it up with the 2. Putting it down straight. And I'm going to cut. So there's one piece. Again, I'm going to line it up with the 2. That's my 2-inch mark. And I'm cutting that one. That's 2 strips. Again, I'm going to do the same thing. Line it up with the 2. You're going to get 5 strips out of this. 3. Very hard to see. Line it up 2 inches. Cutting it off. That's number 4. And we'll get one more out of this piece, which we don't need on this page, but we'll have it for the next page. And then you're left with this 1-inch strip, which I will save and maybe make a little tag out of it, write on it, stamp something on it. Okay, so we have our 4 strips, well 5 strips. I'm going to save this one on my next page. I'm going to put away my cutting board. Okay, that's my extra. So here are my 4 strips. I'm going to lay them out. Not up to your fold. You want to leave like 1/16 of an inch away from the fold. And try to line it up on the page. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the glue around the page. Let me lift this up a little. It's 2 inches, so I'm going to go about 2 inches up along the bottom. Trying to see, you can see this. You don't want too much glue. And I'm not quite going to the fold. I'm going to be 1/16 of an inch off the fold. Up around the 2-inch mark there. They're not quite even, but we could fix the corners when we're finished. I'm going to take this piece, a 1/16 of an inch or a little bit closer, and about a 1/16 of an inch from the bottom. I'm actually going to move this up because I'm going to trim this page, even with this one. Okay. Too close to the fold. It is a little difficult to see the fold line. If you pick your page up, you can see right here how far you are. You don't want to be over the fold, or your page is not going to bend. I have a little too much glue here. Let me wipe this up on this end. I'm going to press this. When you're pressing the glue in a pocket, you don't want to press into the pocket. You want to press away from the edge. So you're not pressing glue into the pocket further, and thereby gluing more of your pocket down. Same with the bottom. You don't want to press it up, you want to press it down. You can see already my pocket's crooked. And it's this end. I may need more glue. Since I'm trimming this page down, I want to get it even with that one. Okay, that looks better. See if my glue will stick. Down. Press your glue down on the bottom, not up, or you're going to shrink the inside of your pocket. And pressing it towards the outside, not the inside of your pocket. Same thing here. Pressing it outward. And I'm going to leave these, and I'll trim them all off after I have these all glued on. So I'm going to leave about a ½ inch in between each one. Very difficult to see this fold line. Alright. I'm going to start about a ½ inch up from the top of this pocket. And a little bit to the left of the fold line so I don't go over it. You know what? I didn't need glue on the bottom here. I need to skip a ½ inch. So starting about here, going up 2 inches, the width of the height of our pocket. And on this side, about a ½ inch, up about 2 inches. And then bring it across. That's all you're going to glue, the 2 sides and the bottom. I'll take my strip. Now staying away from the fold line, line it up on your glue. And press it down. Outward on the edges, not inward. So as not to lose any more space in your pocket by having the glue pressed inward. This way you're pressing it outward. It's not going to shrink the inside of your pocket. Giving it a good press. Give it plenty of time to catch. That's number 2. This will dry clear, just as it has over here. So that's not a problem. Here's our next one. A ½ inch up from the bottom, from the top of the last pocket. Putting glue up about 2 inches. See the width of my pocket here. And then the same thing over here. A ½ inch up. And that's the width of my pocket. Or the height of my pocket, I should say. And then I'm going to go across the bottom. Don't make your glue too thick, or it's going to spread out all over. You just want to hold the bottom of the pocket in place. Okay, take my strip away from the fold line. Lining it up with my glue. Too much glue in that corner. It's gonna ooze out all over. Okay. And then press it down. Giving it a good press. Outward, not inward. Give the glue a good time to catch on your paper. Okay, we have 3 pockets. Going over the previous ones, make sure they're pressed down well. Okay, now we're on the 4th one. It's really not hard. Very easy to do. Just stay away from this fold line here. Okay, I'm going to put glue down here. Starting up a ½ inch from the last pocket. And 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch away from the fold. That looks even. On the side. And then across the bottom. Now you could draw lines on here, but being that it's vellum, you would see the lines, even if you erased them. It's going to be very hard to get rid of them. But this will work, and this is just for your own use. Line this up. Oh, I did it that time. I laid the pocket in the glue. And press it down. Spreading out your glue to the outside, not the inside. Now this one, you see I got too much glue on the inside of my pocket. I'm going to have to go in there before it's completely dry and try to open it up. I want to give it enough time to catch. I'm gluing it to my page. Okay, so there you see we have all of our pockets are hanging off the edge. We're going to trim all those. We want to make sure this dries well. Looks very good. Let's see how it closes. Very good. Nothing's in the way of our fold now. Okay, now if I were you, I would let this dry thoroughly. And then I would trim off all of these. But being that on my camera, I'm going to trim them before that. Very carefully. Up to the edge. I'm going to give them a closer trim when it's good and dry. Okay, and there we have it, 4 more pockets. Now this one, before it dries, I'm going to get in there and make sure it doesn't stay glued down to the pocket up so far. I'm just going to push it up gently. This was the one I laid the bottom in the glue. Then I had to move it. So I want to make sure I have enough pocket area here. I'm just unsticking it while it's wet at the top edge. Now it's all dry clear, you won't see the glue. I just don't want to make a hole in my paper. I'm going very slowly. Get into the corner, make sure that's open. The sides are good. Now I check this one. Into the corner. Okay, looks good. Is fine. Now once everything dries, I would check the very top of these pockets because it's barely glued down. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here. Make sure it stays. That one's good. This one could use a little glue. Barely under the edge. just so it holds. These are all the way up. This one's all the way up. This one could use a little bit of glue. Otherwise they're well glued. Very good. Like I said, this glue is going to dry clear, totally clear. See on here, you can't see the glue at all. So this will dry, you won't see this. This one has almost dried, it's almost gone. So I'm going to show you, I could put my butterflies in here. Tiny one. Now, these are not too deep, so you know, if things fall in, you can get them out. In this original binder that I had made, the pockets were so deep that they would fall all the way down. It was hard to get them out. And the black one. This one has some removable tape on it, so it's getting a little stuck. I had put this on something else before. A few more left. Now I wouldn't make these, I wouldn't stuff them, but they can hold quite a bit. This one's a different butterfly. There's a little tag. I'm going to find a spot for this. I'm going to lose it. It's handmade for you. And one more butterfly. And another tag. So there you stay. So this is our one. I'm going to put some words over here. These are very delicate words. They're very thin. So while I have the room, I'll give them space. And this is just one of our, I'm going to make 2 of these, complete like this one. And then I'm going to make the cover. And we're going to put them into a spine, like a 2-inch spine, maybe a little bit more, 2 1/4-inch spine. But I'll show you that when I make it. This is not the cover. This is one of the page signatures, as they call it in a junk journal. We have all these pages. So I'll continue putting in all the pockets. And then I'll come back and I'll show you. I'll put in all the pockets, I'll make the second one, and then we'll make the cover together. So you've seen how to make one of these. So you just make 2. Pick out your colors. You do need 12 by 12 cardstock. You cut off the 1 inch on the top. Score it. Just come back and follow the instructions. Okay, so I hope this is going to work. I'm making this on this book, the top of my head. I'm also going to trim this page down so that it's even. See at the bottom? I didn't quite line it up. Where's the bottom of my camera? There it is. It's not quite lined up, so I'm going to trim this off with the green sticking out. And that'll be it. We'll make a cover. We'll put a cover on it. We'll decorate it. And we'll have our die cut and fussy cut holder. One little binder. Full of pages, full of pockets. Okay, so I hope you like this. I'll be back. Next video, we'll make the cover. I'll have my second one done and we'll put it all together. Okay, so if you like this video, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button and the bell if you want to be notified when I'm ready to put up when I'm putting up the video for the cover. Okay, thank you for coming. See you soon. Bye.